Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos. After learning foster baby is related to adopted son, single mother makes difficult choice. Married life is a wonderful, beautiful, complicated mess. It becomes even more complicated when a couple tries to introduce kids into the equation. Sadly, though, not all couples are able to conceive a child on their own. Thankfully, there are so many orphan children out there in need of a home or foster care. Single mom Katie Page had always wanted to be a mom, but life's complications had made that almost impossible. Luckily for her, fate was listening. Not every marriage ends happily, and Katie Page had to learn this the hard way. Katie was in her early 30s when the divorce happened. It wasn't a surprise, though. She and her ex-husband had been having troubles almost as soon as they began to attempt to start a family together in earnest. Paige and her husband were having issues getting pregnant, so they did what any sensible couple would. They went to the doctor. After many tests, they found that the issues lay in infertility, but that was only part of the issue. She and her husband were just incompatible, and they wanted different things. Paige was missing something, and it wasn't her husband. It was something else entirely. Paige still had dreams of being a mom. It was on her bucket list. Her divorce now complete, she knew that the traditional way was lost to her. But she had other options. In 2016, she became a foster mom, but she still knew she wanted to adopt as well. Being a single mom isn't easy. This was something she knew before even going in. So before she went to adopt, Paige wanted to get a feel for childcare. She cared for 4 foster children in her early 30s, all while working full-time. Things were going well for a time, and then she met Grayson. Little Grayson had been abandoned at the hospital, and from the minute that Paige laid eyes on him, she knew that their fate was sealed. The minute I saw him in the hospital, I fell in love, Paige told Good Morning America. He's so calm and sweet. At the same time, though, she admits that he's been one of the biggest challenges of all the kids. Raising Grayson proved to be one heck of a challenge. Part of this was due to the fact that he'd apparently been exposed to methamphetamines in the womb. The rest of the challenge lay in the fact that he was a baby boy, something that the single mom had only dealt with sporadically before then. On May 25, 2017, Paige officially adopted 2-year-old Grayson. A month later, she received a call from the hospital. They'd called to inform her about a newborn girl named Hannah who'd just come in. Like Grayson, she'd been abandoned by her mother right after birth and needed a good home. Even though things with Grayson had been tough, Paige was not about to dismiss a newborn baby girl out of hand. She went down to the hospital and arranged to meet the child. As soon as she saw the girl, she knew she had to give her a forever home, just like she had with Grayson. She had no idea how similar the 2 children truly were. Paige brought Hannah home and began the challenging process of balancing the care of a newborn and a 2-year-old. As she was laying Hannah down on the changing table, she noticed the name of the girl's biological mother on the infant's hospital bracelet. The name seemed awfully familiar. At the time, Paige couldn't recall where she'd seen the name before, but decided that once things settled down a bit, she'd pursue the subject with the folks at the hospital. A few days later, Katie Page received the surprise of her life. The baby girl she was about to adopt was actually related to her newly adopted son. Paige recalled that the name on Hannah's medical bracelet was the same as the one on Grayson's had been. The woman had a unique name, so the fact that the name was the same on both bracelets made the situation pretty obvious. Paige contacted little Hannah's caseworker, and the story they told her turned out to be really similar to Grayson's story. The problem was, it was still unclear whether or not Grayson and Hannah were brother and sister. Their mother had lied about her last name and date of birth on the day she left Grayson at the hospital, so it wasn't like they could get any direct proof. They did share certain links beside her name. The fact that both Hannah and Grayson had been exposed to methamphetamines in the womb was a pretty telling coincidence. It was likely that the mother of the 2 children had a drug problem and wasn't able to provide for the children as they came along. Still, it wasn't as if they could track her down. That was not for lack of trying on Paige's part, however. Ashley Chappa, her roommate, was present when Paige first attempted to unravel the mommy mystery. Ashley marveled at how surreal the whole situation was. Paige wanted to be sure, so she pulled out all of Grayson's paperwork and began digging. Paige had always kept things pretty organized, especially when it came to her kids' paperwork. Katie's got her binder out from her paperwork with Grayson, and we realized same first name, everything. Nevertheless, there was no information on the mother to be found. In the end, though, it was more than enough for Paige. As soon as she figured out that she had 2 siblings, she told the hospital that she would absolutely adopt her. Once I took in Grayson and I accepted being his mom, I accepted his family. The story went viral soon after the adoption. On December 28, 2018, Paige officially adopted Hannah as her own. She even had an official DNA test done prior to that in order to confirm they were biological siblings. They would have been brother and sister either way, of course, but this added element only served to make their story that much more incredible. Paige, who lives in Parker, Colorado with her 2 kids, couldn't be happier. She recently appeared on Good Morning America and spoke at length about the amazing story and her children. Hannah is the opposite of Grayson, she says. He loves to chill and she's a wild thing. Paige closed out her interview by saying, "I was a single woman in a 4-bedroom house, and now every room in my house is full. It's never dull. People ask me all the time, how do you do it? I never thought I'd have 3 babies, but God doesn't give you more than you can handle." Paige recently received news that Grayson and Hannah have another sibling as well. She hopes to adopt the children's 5-month-old sibling to the family this year. If you ask her friend Ashley Chappa about it, though, she'll tell you, "I've always thought she was a superwoman, but I think she is more now."